Hello and welcome to Sovereign RPG. I am Sovereign and today we're going to go over the full PvE fit for the Phantasm. That's not going to be all-rounder where you can jump from PvE to PvP and PvP to PvE without having to change the fit. This one is going to be solely based around doing T10 story missions. I got a lot of questions about it from my previous video about the AMA stuff for the balancing issues. And I did some background footage regarding this actual fit, so I thought I'd actually go around and talk to you about it. So after this intro, we'll get straight into it.
Warp drive active.
We're going to make it a little bit quicker this time because the last video we had was like 25 minutes long, so I'm going to try and go through it as quickly as possible for you guys so you don't have to sit there and listen to me drone on with this very unkept beard for the next 20 minutes. So we'll go straight into what the fittings are and why I chose them. So we're going to be going with the 4 pulses in the top, the Phantasm C-types. You can use other storyline pulses, that's fine if you don't have the money, but at the moment the C-type medium pulses and beams are very cheap, so it's very worth just buying these now. So if we go into the low slots, we have a Phantasm C-type medium afterburner, that's for your speed tanking. We have the Gistum C-type adaptive shield resistance, just one of those. We don't really need the resistance, but I have it there just in case I get slowed down by the destroyers and the frigates in the T10 storylines and you actually take a little bit of damage. It's good to have that there. And now we have 2 Phantasm C-type heat sinks. Now this raises your DPS, allowing you to actually kill stuff quicker. It allows you to make much more money much more quickly. So we changed the large shield from the last fit, which is mainly used in PvP, which I mainly use in PvP, to a medium shield booster. Now we do this so we can have a stable fit. Now this Phantasm can be AFK'd completely after you've killed the frigates and the destroyers in T10 storyline missions. Now, as you know, I always do Bad Hair Day because it has the best box currently and you have more chances of getting loot that actually sells. Now this may change in the actual updates that are coming up in October, since there's going to be buffs and debuffs of different loots, so the rapids are going to be debuffed, etc. Then we go into the medium slots. So we've got a large energy Nosferatu. Now we're using the Vir Kalakis. I probably pronounced that completely wrong, but I'm English, what can you do? And we have 2 Predator Stasis Webifiers. Now we use this large energy Nosferatu because it actually keeps you 100% stable, and we'll look at the stats in a second. So for the power grid rigs, we have the Laser Collision Accelerator 2 for 1 times, and we have Laser Burst Aerator 2s 2 times. This raises your DPS, allowing you to kill quicker, as you don't actually need those resistances in the PvE fighting. And in the mechanical rigs, not much has changed here. We just took out the Warp Core Optimizer 2 rig, and that was a costly change, 200 million ISK just thrown out the window for an ancillary power grid 2 to raise power grid enough, because I don't actually have the skills right now for cruiser engineering to fit the large Nosferatu without this currently. That will change tomorrow during the update for the respec stuff, so I might be able to get rid of that and stick something else in there, maybe a CCC, and the fit may change during that time depending on the skills that I have. But this is basically, there's no expert skills into this ship that I have currently. Everything is 5.5 or 4.5 in all skills regarding the actual Phantasm. So the CCC2 hasn't changed, and the Semiconductor Memory Cell 2 hasn't changed. This is to keep the fit stable. So let's have a look at these stats. So cold stats right now, this is just docked in the station. We have 570.15 DPS. That's a hell of a lot more than we had in the previous fitting. If you go into the defense, we have a lot less resistance. We haven't got those grids filling in the EM resistance or the thermal resistance to plug those in. But as I said, this is a speed tank fit. So we're just going to be orbiting at our optimal range, which is 15 kilometers. So you're going to be going around and around in circles very fast, and it allows you to take less damage. So you don't actually need the tank. Now, if we go down to our capacitor is actually stable by quite a lot, and that is because of the large energy Nosferatu, which actually gives you a crap ton of capacitor back whilst taking it off of rats. This may not work as well in PvP because of the fact that if they have more capacitor than you will take the capacitor back, but if they have less capacitor than you, then you will not gain anything from using this module. So it can't keep you stable if you're using PvP. not the same as the Ashimu, which will be actually the next video. I'll be doing a fitting video on the ultimate support ship. So let's go outside of the station and have a look at the hot stats on the ship. So we're going to activate the adaptive down here. We're going to activate the 2 heat sinks, and we're going to activate the afterburner. Then we're going to go into the window here and have a look. We almost have 900 DPS. This is hot. This lasts for a certain amount of time. This lasts for 25 seconds with a 60-second reactivation delay, and it actually pushes your high slots, your pulse beams, up to a 2.69 second activation time. So you're going to be hitting a lot harder and a lot faster. Now, if we have a look at the defense, our resistances have gone up to 36, 49, 62, and 68. It's a lot better if you get those lucky hits from a rat, or if you get webbed during that time. Now, the capacitor is showing 11:39 seconds, but that's only if you are activating the heat sinks. This won't, it doesn't affect, it's still stable. So when you stop using the actual heat sinks, your large Nosferatu will be sucking in enough energy to bring you back up. Now you'll be sitting at about 39 to 40% capacitor during this time when you are actually fighting in the T10 storylines. And as I said, you can go AFK once you have killed the frigates and the destroyers. It's not a fully AFK fit. I am waiting until the skill reallocation. I might try a beam fit, and I'll sit out at 35 kilometers and see if that can be fully AFKable. Because I don't have the actual engineering skills right now to fit the beam fit, because you can't really use Nosferatu sitting at 35 kilometers. It will not give you any capacitor. And we have our standard speed of 1,519.2 meters per second, and that is more than enough to go around in circles, even at 15 kilometers at the optimal range. So you're going to want to actually set your orbit default to 15 kilometers, and your pulses will hit just in optimal range, and you'll be getting your full Nosferatu value. Because if you go over, if we have a look at the Nosferatu here, there's 16 kilometer optimal range, and that will give you the full amount of gigajoules that you need to bring it back into your capacitor. It has an accuracy fall off of 8 kilometers after that. So you could, in theory, sit there at 24 kilometers, but you'll be getting a reduced amount of cap back. We can still try to use this large energy Nosferatu in the beam fit, because we could really sit at 25 kilometers, 20 kilometers, give or take, between 20 and 24 kilometers, so we can actually keep the Nosferatu energy coming in, but you would change out those webs because you won't be using them. You can fit anything else in there. There's nothing really in the mid slots you can fit in there except for warp disruptors and stuff, but you don't really need to fit those in there currently. Nothing else really helps you within the PvE. So we have those webs in there just in case you get an elite frigate come flying straight at you, because they do move at high speeds. Stick the 2 webs on, move straight away from them, and just keep hitting them. That's basically the fit for the PvE T10 storylines. This is the maximum that I could get out of it. It works really well once you get those things doing. I quite like to put in the sped up time of the T10 storyline at the end of the video, so please make sure to check that out so you can see me moving backwards and forwards from the frigates and the destroyers. But be careful when you are AFKing anything in this game, because there are bugs in it that causes issues. Say with the orbit system, you'll see in the video at the end of this that at one point I'm actually 20 kilometers away from the actual rat and not orbiting at 15, even though my default range is set at 15 kilometers. So sometimes things go wrong, and then obviously your Nosferatu is not giving you enough energy back. So I started to go quite low on the energy, so I had to jump in, put it the right optimal range on the thing, and so they're going in and moving in at the right range, and you get your full Nosferatu, and it was able to go AFK again. I want to thank you all for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. This is your one-stop shop for everything Eve Echoes. Fly safe and avoid local chat scams.